Leroy is a character that has a good balance between defense and offense in Tekken 8. He can reward defensive players with his parries and good counter hit keep out tools, whilst also rewarding aggressive players with his insane amount of chip damage and hermit mix-ups as well. Hey guys, GamerNemy here, and today I'm gonna give you guys some essential tips that you must implement in your game plan if you're looking to play Leroy Smith in Tekken 8. Although Leroy has the best parries in the game, all of his parries can be countered by throws. You won't be able to break throws if you're grabbed out of your parry, so don't over-rely too much on parries and don't spam parries as much. This is especially important against characters that deal huge damage and have strong grabs such as Dragunov, Hwoarang, and Nina Williams, just to mention a few. Leroy has a just frame version of his back to parry which deals 5 more points of damage and gives you a knockdown as well. Keep in mind that you can only get this just frame version by doing his manual back to parry and not his up forward 1 parry. Get the perfect timing and you will get this parry. All of Leroy's parries are very situational and should not be randomly spammed. For example, back 2 is meant for hard reads, up forward 1 is meant for hard reads out of crouch to get you out of tough situations when you're so minus, for example for moves like Feng down back 3, Jin down 2, and Dragunov down 2, and parries like down back 1+2 take you into hit and have an inbuilt attack. So don't just randomly spam parries, know how each parry must be used in every situation. Leroy's down back 3 low can be described as a potentially safe low due to the fact that even if the low is blocked, Leroy is still able to parry the while standing for punish option from the opponents afterwards by using back 2 or his hermit 1. So try your best to mix up between the two, either hermit back 2 or hermit 1 for the parries. Now keep in mind that at high level and high ranks this starts getting baited and you should be very careful. Sometimes it's better to just eat the punish and cancel out of hermit immediately the down back 3 gets blocked. Leroy's hermit sidestep 1+2 is without a doubt one of his best moves. It's a +7 high with a ton of range and does a massive amount of chip damage. However, at high level and high ranks this becomes so obvious because it's the only move he has from his sidestep after hermit. So always try to mix it up by throwing out mid such as up forward 3, up forward 1, orbital, and just to mention a few. Don't be too obvious with this move. It's strong, it feels good, but it can be baited at high level, it can be read, so keep that in mind. Did you know that you can cancel Leroy's back 3 into hermit by pressing 3+4 immediately after back 3? You just thought I would throw this in there. Pretty cool way to go into hermit, right? Leroy has some of the best and fastest keep out counter hit tools in the game. He has a 10 frame counter hit string that does 40 damage. He has a 12 frame counter hit mid launcher which no character in the game has, and he also has a 13 frame high safe back 1 counter hit that does 40 damage as well. So always use your counter hit keep out tools. Like I said, Leroy also rewards defensive players. Leroy can do an absurd amount of chip damage whilst in hit. As such, you want to try by all means to use your hit after your opponent has used their hit gauge to try to prevent them from gaining as much health as possible. You want to stay in your opponent's face and try by all means to chip away at that health bar with his rapid punches. Don't be afraid to throw out Leroy's hit smash on block as it does one of the highest chip damage on block in the game. And remember, lows take out grey health, so this is a very good situation for Leroy. Using Leroy's rapid punch moves in hit even during a combo will still drain his hit gauge. This mainly applies to his forward 3 1+2 4 which is used for the screw, and his down back 2 1+2 1 which is used as his ground pound wall combo. Now you want by all means to try to avoid this by using other screws such as down back 1 2. They deal less damage, yes, but at least you still save the hit gauge. Remember that hit gauge is valuable for the chip damage instead. Arena Underground and Midnight Siege are some of Leroy's best stages in the game. He can dish out some ridiculous amounts of damage thanks to his back 3+4 which has some really insane scaling and can easily activate the wall explosion. So if you have the chance, always pick these two stages if you're playing Leroy. Leroy's Hermit 1+2 is his best mid whilst in that stance. The first part is relatively safe at -9, it has decent tracking and can be hit confirmed, which means you can visually see if the first part of the move lands on hit, and you can commit to the string if successful. Like honestly, hit confirming this string is so easy. If you're not aware of this, I urge you to put Leroy in practice mode, put the CPU on random block and just try to see if you can get the hit confirms on this move. It is very strong, it does a massive amount of chip damage whilst in hit, and it's also a launcher when in hit after you cancel it into the dash. Leroy's orbital actually has far worse recovery in Tekken 8 than it did back in Tekken 7. Now this should be obvious, but I still see a lot of Leroy players spamming orbital as if they're Brian. We are not Brian, guys. You can't spam it. You will get punished if you just throw this in the open, so be smart about how you throw out Leroy's orbital. Leroy's ground pound war combo gives him his best Okizeme options without a doubt. It firstly prevents them from tech rolling. If they stay on the ground, you can catch them with a down 2 low. If they roll on the ground, down 1+2 will catch them rolling. If they stand up, you can mix them up with a mid or a low. It's very strong, and you have to implement this in Leroy's game plan. Now, whilst Leroy has good punishment, his punishment options when blocked are very risky, and this applies more to whiff punishment. You have to make a hard read when it comes to Leroy and whiff punishment. If any of your options are blocked, it's either you get punished heavily, you get launched, or something gets ducked. That's one of Leroy's biggest weaknesses. Very risky whiff punishment overall for this character. So there you have it, guys, some quick essential tips to help you improve your Leroy gameplay. What do you think? Did I miss anything important? Please let me know in the comment section below. Please consider subscribing and liking the video as usual, and why not check out some more Leroy content? How about some awesome Leroy combo videos? So GG my boys, take care, and may the frame data be ever in your favor. And remember, love all, chase none.